The Miami Dolphins have hit rock bottom. An embarrassing, disgusting loss on the road to the Carolina Panthers. You led 17-0 after the first 16 minutes of this game and then proceeded to be outscored in the final 44 minutes 27-7. Mike McDaniel should not be employed tomorrow. Chris Grier should not be employed tomorrow. And you know what? Jayen Waddle was great today. But I'm done. I'm done. I'm not doing it. I'm done. I am done. I didn't think this one through. I didn't think that through. No more Dolphins gear until Mike Daniel and Grier is fired. Done. I really mean this. I will not be wearing an ounce of Dolphins gear on the channel until Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier are fired. They are unemployable. This defense, and boy, we'll get into this defense, that Chris Grier put on the field is a travesty to the sport. And the offensive line, oh God, wait till we get to them, is maybe even more of a joke than the defensive line. Somehow, some way. But it's just embarrassing from top to bottom between this football team. It's all McDaniel and it's all Grier. Until those two are gone, this team will never be serious. They need to go. Are you with me? Think the Dolphins should fire McDaniel? If you're with me, type me. You can hold off, I suppose, if you'd like. But it is the most obvious thing that needs to happen in the history of the world. McDaniel, Grier need to go. And if they can't fire him, and they don't fire him, well, then there is no hope for this team going forward. As a defense, you allowed the Panthers to have 239 rushing yards. 239. You let Rico Dowdle, fucking Rico Dowdle, run for 206 yards. He averaged 9 a carry. He had, on his first carry of the second half, a 54-yard field goal or a 54-yard run. And then right after you scored a touchdown in the fourth to retake the lead at 24-20, you let Dowdle run for 40 yards. You let Bryce Young, who is an atrocious quarterback, and he played horrific today, he gifted you 2 turnovers by basically dropping the ball on his first possession and handing it to Bradley Chubb, and then threw one high to Xavier Legette on his second possession, which Minkah Fitzpatrick caught for an interception. Come back and beat you and outscore you 27-7 in the final 44 minutes of the ballgame. I don't know how else to say it, and I'm having a hard time trying to grip the right words to use in this video. But this is an embarrassing football team. It's an embarrassing coaching staff. It's an embarrassing front office. And the Dolphins will not be a serious team or an organization until the two of them are gone. And I don't know how Stephen Ross can seriously sit here and let them continue to do their job as the season progresses. It just is an absolute freaking joke, man. And we're going to get to the offensive line and Mike McDaniel more in depth here as a play caller and decision maker. But this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day. The right decision would be firing Mike McDaniel. And boy, when that decision is made, it will feel good to be right. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can make and pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick more on Jayen Waddle receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns? Well, now you can have all of them in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks. I had an entry for today. I went 2 of 3. I would have been able to win if I did a flex play. Instead, I did a power play, and I lost. Waddle and McMillan combined for about 200 receiving yards like I thought they would. Went way more on the 128.5. Sutton had 99 receiving yards. He went way more. But Devon Achane got absolutely nothing. About like 50 yards today, if that. So that went less than there, unfortunately. But download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. I mean, I know, once again, with under 2 minutes to go, down by 3, Tua couldn't even get the Dolphins in field goal range. But I don't think you can sit here and blame it on him. Like, he played a good ball game. And I have said this season, I'm done with Tua, and I would like to move off of him as soon as possible. But you're not going to be able to do it until after the 2026 season because you have an out in his contract then. But 122 QB rating, like 3 touchdowns, no turnovers for Tua. Like, he played a good game. The issue is, and this is more, once again, on Chris Grier and the way this roster is constructed, you had no running game. Achane had 16 rushing yards. And I promise you, that is not Achane's fault. He had nowhere to go. If you just look at the rushing game, the Dolphins had 19 rushing yards on 14 attempts. The Panthers had 239 rushing yards. The Panthers outgained you on the ground by 220 yards. You will never, and I mean never, win a football game when you get outran on the ground by 200 yards. That is almost impossible. But it happened because this offensive line was atrocious. Jonah Savinaya, I know it's only been 5 games, but how many times am I going to say it's only been blank games before we call this guy an absolute scrub? And I know people are going to point to last year with Chop Robinson and say he wasn't very good in the first 6-7 games of the season. Then he became one of the best edge rushers in football. But, I mean, listen, Chop was way more productive and impactful for the Dolphins in the first 8 weeks of the season than Jonah has been. Jonah is the worst offensive guard in the entire National Football League. He was the worst graded offensive guard coming into Week 5. And I promise you, when you watch this film and you watch everything that went down on the O-line this week, it will be equally as bad, if not worse. Cole Strange, after a good week against the Jets, he was atrocious today. I don't think Aaron Brewer is very good either in the interior. I mean, the interior offensive line was so bad. The Dolphins, without a question, have the worst guard play in the NFL. And I thought it would be better from a year ago. I really did, because Robert Jones and Liam Eichenberg were comically bad. But due to James Daniels' injury, the combination of Jonah and whoever has played right guard, whether it's Keon Smith, whether it's Cole Strange, whether it's Daniel Brunskill, has been comically worse. It's been hard to really come to grip with reality of how bad this Dolphins organization is. It goes back to the team building strategy that you've had over the last decade with Chris Grier as your GM. He was hired as GM 2016. The Dolphins have not won a playoff game and have not really made any strides as an organization. Sure, they had a 2-year stretch of making the playoffs in 2022 and 2023, but look how crashing down it has had and come now. We will not be going anywhere, so make sure you subscribe. Unfortunately, we are still going to be here live for every game and bringing you daily Dolphins content. And when Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier inevitably get fired, we'll be going live and celebrating. So join the channel and subscribe today. I mean, I feel like I've said everything I can say in this video. I don't know what else there is to cover. Like, sure, you can blame Tua a little bit for missing that in route to Waddle. But, like, how about you don't punt the ball? Oh, I didn't even get to the Mike McDaniel punt. I didn't even get to that. So if you're still watching, you're a real one. Are you kidding? I think that's the most embarrassing thing that I have seen on a football field in my entire life. 4th and 18 with a minute to go, and you punt the football. I know you have 3 timeouts. Newsflash, your defense has given up 239 rushing yards. Do you really think they're going to be able to get a stop? And then Jack Jones PI on 3rd and 5, free first down for the Panthers, game over, knee down. That was the most cowardly decision I have seen from a head coach in my entire life. And I can't fathom, and I'm sorry, I think you lack football intellect if you legitimately believe they should have punted the ball on 4th and 18. Seriously, because here's the logic here. If you really think it's like, oh, you punt it, you have 3 timeouts, you get the ball back. You really think you're going to get it on 4th and 18? You can go for it on 4th and 18. If, hey, guess what? You don't get it, guess what? You can still force a stop and get the ball back by getting them to kick a field goal. Punting the football was the most cowardly, disgusting decision I have ever seen on a football field. And I really mean that. Absolutely abysmal. Mike McDaniel shouldn't have a job just because of that decision. That's going to do it for this post-game edition and instant reaction. If you think Mike McDaniel should be fired, like off the top, type me. I don't understand how he has a job 24 hours from now. But knowing Stephen Ross, because he's a loser, won't fire him. Harsh words today, all deserved.